The NFL is reconsidering their light punishment of running back Adrian Peterson. He's now been suspended indefinitely by the Minnesota Vikings. Peterson was placed on the Exempt commissioner's permission list in order to remain away from the team activities until his legal proceedings are resolved. He initially was just suspended for 1 game. This all comes after Peterson was indicted on a child injury charge for spanking his 4-year-old child with a tree branch. He also faces accusations that he injured another child. The team owners issued a statement. The statement says, after giving the situation additional thought, we've decided this is the appropriate course of action for the organization and for Adrian. We want to be clear. We have a strong stance regarding the protection and welfare of children. We want to be sure we get this right. Joining me to discuss this and more is HuffPost sports columnist Jordan Schultz. Jordan, the Vikings ownership consulted with the commissioner's office to come up with this list. How involved was the league in this deactivation?
I think the league stepped away in this, Mark, and everything I'm hearing is that Roger Goodell has kind of gone into hiding, and I think that's a good idea for him, given that he really can't be the moral high ground at this point after what happened with Ray Rice and Janae Rice. It's just not something that he needs to be doing, is getting involved in this. So the Vikings, with pressure from the league, with pressure from the governor, finally did the right thing to deactivate Adrian Peterson, and I think that was more of a Vikings decision. And obviously the Anheuser-Busch situation, pulling out $1 billion sponsorship, contributed to it as well.
Well, I mean, there's so many factors here, right? I mean, one is the financial piece of this. Again, as you mentioned, advertisers pulling out left and right, or threatening to. That has to be a big part of this. How much of it, though, was the Vikings saying we can't afford to lose these fans?
Huge. And the Vikings are not, you know, what's crazy about the Vikings for the average NFL fan, or maybe the fan that doesn't know much about the NFL, is that this is not an organization that's been particularly relevant in terms of winning over the past decade. However, they have had one of the most passionate fan bases, and they're very sensitive to that, Mark. And they're building a brand new stadium that, you know, is going to hopefully galvanize that organization for next season. They've put a lot of money into that, and they really feel like their fans are kind of like their impetus towards success, because they haven't been successful on the field. And I think that played a big role here, as well as the pressure and also, Mark, the images that really were instilled into the minds of fans from Adrian Peterson and those 2 kids.